I found in meeting Dr. King that he had the 3 A's. He was available, he was accessible, and he was accountable. And when he went to help the garbage collectors there in Memphis, his last request was for Ben Branch to play Precious Lord, Take My Hand. He leaned over the banister. If I could sing and Cleo could come up here and play, she's shaking her head no, so. But I would sing to you, Precious Lord, Take My Hand. And more than anything else, if I would leave with you, I would leave that thought to you, to ask God to take your hand and to lead you, because you don't know where you're going. You don't know what's going to happen in life. But as my father would say, anybody can fall, but nobody has to wallow. Yes, racism was alive. We lived in an integrated neighborhood. Yes, I've been called nigger. Even as an adult, I've been called nigger. When I started working in public housing, and I just said, hello. He said, hello, nigger. I said, hello. And kept on walking. I remember when we integrated the housing development in Barberton, and my boss wanted me to go out and talk to them, and he said he couldn't go. And I said, okay, I will go, but I want a policeman to go with me. He said, well, do you want him to pick you up? I said, no, I'm not going to ride with him. I don't want him thinking I'm trying to go with him or something. Just have him come and just have him stay in the parking lot so he watches my car. And when I got in, the room was packed, and there was a very hostile man sitting on the front row with his hands crossed and his legs, and the meanest look you ever want to see. And so I said to him, my name is Dorothy O. I work for Metropolitan Housing, and I'm new, and we have programs, and we have money for programs. We're going to have daycare for your children, and we're going to have lunch programs. And I just ran down the list of all that we were going to do. But I read your sign, because the sign said no niggers and no dogs allowed. And I said, I just came to tell you, if you want me, I'm happy to come, and I will come and help you do everything that we've done every place else. But if you don't want me, I won't be back. But I guess I should tell you no one else will either. One lady way in the back waved her hand and said, I'll work with you. She broke the ice because several did. That man didn't. He walked out. But Barberton is now an integrated housing development. But had I been so stupid to say, I'm not going, no, I was going. Because if you sweep the floor, sweep it like Beethoven. But if you have a boss, you may disagree with him. If Mayor Plisquelic or Tom Sawyer were here, they would tell you when they first hired me, I went in and said, I will do whatever you want me to do. And if you and I disagree, I will tell you why I disagree, and I will tell you why. But if you say, this is what I want, when I walk out your door, I will give you 100%. You will believe that your idea was mine, because I'm going to do just what you tell me to do. Young people, if you are working and your boss tells you to do this, don't go back and give him mouth to say what you're not going to do, or that's not my job. It became your job when your boss asked you to do it. And so give them 100%, because they are the one that will be responsible. Parents, don't squash your children's dreams. And young people, when you run into racism, yes, I'm sorry to say it is still alive. But when you do, just take it as that was that person and do what you can. Yes, I wish I didn't have to tell you that racism is still alive, but it is. It is. And once upon a time, we were called colored, and we were called nigger, and we were called black, and many other names. But Dr. King came along and fought for whoever was called any other name. And we celebrate that man, and we celebrate that man's dream. For 5 years ago, a great American in whose symbolic shadow we stand signed the Emancipation Proclamation. This momentous decree came as a great beacon of light, of hope to millions of Negro slaves who have been seared in the flame of withering injustice. It came as a joyous daybreak to end the long night of captivity. But 100 years later, we must face the tragic fact that the Negro is still not free. That's what Dr. King said when he was on the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C. on August 28, 1963. And the University of Akron went in the archives and found me the article, "We Shall Overcome Race Bars," King tells the rally in Akron, Ohio. And that's when I had the opportunity to meet him. And that's when I realized that if you sweep the floor, sweep it like Beethoven. It doesn't matter who you are or where you are or what you are somebody. And God's delays are not God's denials. So maybe if you don't get it now, he must have something better for you. Or he must be preparing you so you'll be ready to step into that spot.